Hello everyone to learn Cebuano Bisaya with Pedro. Today we're looking at these five sentences. They all have the word bayad used in different ways, which means to pay. The first one is wala mi nisulti nila nga wala pa mi kabayad sa ilang pagkaon. Okay, wala is an action that already happened, so we're talking about something that did not happen. So here mi is short for kami, which is we, if we're going to be using as the subject. So we did not or we didn't. Wala mi nisulti. Sulti is the root of to tell. Nisulti, where something was not told. Wala mi nisulti. We did not tell. So wala mi nisulti nila. So nila is them. We didn't tell them. Wala mi nisulti nila nga. So that's that. And then the second part is wala pa mi. So we didn't yet. And then we see the bayad to pay. And then we see the ka, which is part of the prefix maka, which is an ability to pay. So here we're saying wala pa mi kabayad. Translated to we hadn't paid or we haven't paid. Wala pa mi kabayad. So the last one is sa ilang pagkaon, for their food. Wala pa mi kabayad sa ilang pagkaon. We haven't paid for their food yet. So the sentence is, we didn't tell them that we haven't paid for their food yet. Wala mi nisulti nila nga wala pa mi kabayad sa ilang pagkaon. On this sentence, there's a little subtle differences on the translation if or include or not include the word pa. Pa here is yet. We haven't paid for their food yet. But sometimes the translation is we haven't paid for their food. So this, have you noticed the subtle difference? If we use the pa, then we're trying to say we're going to be paying for their food, but we haven't yet. But some people are thinking what they're trying to say is we haven't paid for their food. So they didn't catch the pa there. Wala pa mi kabayad sa ilang pagkaon. The translation is, one more time, we haven't paid for their food yet. The second one is Dili mi makabayad. So it can be translated different ways. Either we're talking about something that we're going to be contemplating in the future, which would mean we can't pay. Dili mi makabayad. Or sometimes we're thinking about something, we're talking about something that happened in the past, and then something that's going to be, and we're facing something, an action that's going to be happening. So this could also be translated as we couldn't pay. At that time, we couldn't pay. Dili mi makabayad sa ilang pagkaon for their food. We couldn't pay for their food. If we're just talking about, we're just reflecting a story that happened in the past, then we're thinking about something we can do for something, an issue that's happening at that time. At that time, we couldn't pay for their food. Dili mi makabayad sa ilang pagkaon. Then we see the because. That's why there's a kai. Because we didn't have money. Wala mi kwarta. Here, there's a little bit of translation. We need ambiguity. We cannot tell if it's ang kwarta or o kwarta. So the way it's translated here is we didn't have money. Wala mi kwarta. But if someone were to say the ang kwarta, then we're saying that we were supposed to have money, but we didn't have it. Wala mi ang kwarta. We didn't have the money. So there's a subtle difference between we didn't have money and we didn't have the money. So one more time, sentence 2. Dili mi makabayad sa ilang pagkaon kay wala mi kwarta. We couldn't pay for their food because we didn't have money. Sentence 3. Ingon siya. Ingon means said. Ingon siya, he said that nga. So ingon siya nga, he said that dili siya ang mobayad. Dili siya ang mobayad. He wouldn't pay. Dili siya ang mobayad. He wouldn't pay sa akong pagkaon, for my food. Translation: he said he wouldn't pay for my food. Notice the differences between he said that he wouldn't pay for my food. So some people will just ignore that and then they'll translate it in their mind. He said he wouldn't pay for my food. Ingon siya nga, dili siya ang mobayad sa akong pagkaon. In the next sentence, we use the word unta. Unta translated to should, would, but now we have the dili, which means shouldn't, wouldn't. Dili unta ta. That ta is short for kita. We're including, or the one speaking is including the one speaking, spoken to. Dili unta ta. We wouldn't, we shouldn't. Okay, dili unta ta mobayad. So here the mobayad is have, at that time, we're reflecting, we wouldn't have paid, or we shouldn't have paid. Dili unta ta mobayad sa ilang paniodto for their lunch. Kung if sila mismo, if they themselves, kung sila mismo ang makabayad, could have paid or will be able to pay. So again, one person is reflecting a story that happened in the past. So we say mobayad and makabayad, or thinking of something that happened and then facing an issue that's going to be contemplating to them at the time. The translation: dili unta ta mobayad sa ilang paniudto kung sila mismo ang makabayad niana. We wouldn't have paid for the lunch. Or it can also be translated: we shouldn't have paid for the lunch if they could themselves have paid for it, or if they could have paid for it themselves. Yeah, and that niana there is also can be if they could have paid for that themselves. And the last sentence, makabayad mi. We could have paid. Again, reflecting on something that happened in the past. If we're talking about something that is a current event and we're contemplating something, we could have paid here. Sometimes that translation for makabayad mi, we can pay for. So it depends on the conversational flow. If we're talking about something, an issue that's we're facing now and we're contemplating something, or something in the past that we were contemplating. So here, makabayad mi, we could have paid sa among kaugalingon. That is for our own. Sa among kaugalingon, for our own food, pagkaon. Translation: we could have paid for our own food. Makabayad mi sa among kaugalingon pagkaon. Thanks for watching my channel, my video, and I hope you like my video and the content. And don't forget to like my video, subscribe, and share and comment. And we'll see you again on my next video we'll talk about more of wala, dili, can't, didn't, shouldn't, wouldn't. See you again. Bye.